how do you pick the right spouse, and what things made you decide she was the one? Non-negotiables, like what went into that decision? Anything that you can kind of share with that piece, because you talked about your circle and having the right people around you and your,
Yes,
all
yes.
of that, and your spouse, the one you lay next to, is just as important to all of that as well. So I'm just curious about that.
That's an amazing question, Corey. That is a powerful question. Corey, first of all, let me say this before I get into it, okay? Just so you know, anytime you are very grateful for something, guess what you just did? You just open up the heavens for yourself. I just want you to know that. Because one of the highest level of vibration, okay, highest level of vibration is ignited with gratitude. It's just so you know that. So stay in that zone, never let that disappear from you. So the moment you stay there, more and more and more and more will keep happening. But let me go into that, okay, spouse. First of all, when it comes to choosing a spouse, I will say this to you. It's very tricky. Let me say why it's very tricky. Most people are looking for physicality first, okay? And because, normally our eyes, we see it first. Isn't that right? That is why our pineal gland, which is responsible for wealth, the opening to the pineal gland is through the retina, which is our eyes. So the first thing that we see to the outside world through our eyes, shapes our abundance, again, which is the pineal gland. This very scientific concept, okay, it predates how we end up living our life, because everything is all perceptions. Everything. There's a difference between perception and perspective. I'll define that later. But the biggest thing is this. When it comes to choosing your spouse, people say, but how do I know? How do I know it's the right person for me? How do I know it's this? Number one, just so you know this, you're never going to choose the right spouse until you know who you are. It begins with knowing you first. Because if you don't know you first, you're picking a spouse that represents the fake version of you, which means when your real you shows up, then there is no compatibility anymore. So the first thing starts organically with you. Questions asked: who am I? What do I want out of life? Where am I going? What makes me happy? What are the things I can put away and what I cannot put away? What are the most, and the list goes on and on, and if you understand what I mean, Corey, okay? Yeah. So now, once you understand who you are, then you go to the next phase. That's a book is called 101 Questions to Ask Before You Get Married. It's actually a book. I can't remember the name of the author right now. Then you can start asking questions and start testing the water. Remember what I said initially as a man thinking. So literally at this point, you're seeing beyond the physical of that individual. And guess what you're doing? No, at this point right now, you're looking at the mental, spiritual state of the human being. Because the beauty is going to come and go with age. Wrinkles are going to come. I mean, the grain of the hair is going to happen. She's very sexy today, but tomorrow is like, I don't know. All of this is going to happen because they're all parts of life.
Yes, sir.
Then what exactly is the essence of you, who you are, and that compatibility is exactly the duration of your lifespan in a very fruitful marriage. So watch this. 3 aspects. Number one. Okay? Number one. There are 3 levels to your relationship. The first level, is the level where you are in a honeymoon phase. I'm like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. That person could never do anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like for all married people, you know what I'm talking about. The first, this person, like you call your friends, my God, she is just unbelievable. Like forget that. She doesn't walk on planet Earth anymore. She walks on the moon and everything. Nothing could go wrong. Then Corey, you go to the second phase. It's a war. Man, I never knew anything about her. I didn't know she was like this. Oh my God, if I had knew, I would never. then you're arguing, you're screaming, you're yelling at each other. Now you're in your war zone. Are you ready? 90% of relationships die at stage 2. Stage 3. Now, organically, you're coming out to what we call the purity of love, where you have accepted each other for who you are. At this level, it doesn't matter. It's not because the person is perfect anymore. In fact, the person is imperfectly perfect. So at this level, you've accepted who the person is. The person have accepted you. The true essence of love begins to emanate. At this level, you get along very well. Everything is beautiful. You're compatible. It's like, again, heaven on earth, inseparable. And you know what's crazy about that? Only few people will ever get to experience that. Here's the problem, Corey. A guy who doesn't know himself will pick a girl that suits the season of his life that he's at. That's exactly what happens. So when the season changes, and now the true revelation of yourself now shows up, you can't see eye to eye anymore. It's the end of that relationship. So how do you pick? Take your time. Know who you are first. Once you know who you are,
Yes,
then you start looking for that compatibility that match the essence of you. Understanding exactly your weaknesses, and you're looking for the person to complete the strength of that weakness of yours, and vice versa. It's heaven on earth. And then, even when that happens, don't forget, you still have to go through the 3 phases, okay? The honeymoon phase, the war phase, and the acceptance phase. Don't forget that.